Before the darkest age, before the rise of the Dark One's nefarious cults, the lands beneath the Citadel burned with a black fire. The unholy ground stood as a cosmic crucible where the great void churned against the mortal plane, rending a breach in the veil in our reality. This heavy friction of our world against the radiant abyss showered the realm in streams of chaos energy that flowed through the fissure. From the abyss, the most wretched of abominations would come here to feast upon the energy. On a quest for unholy power, savage mortals filled with dark intentions would come to meet them. In time, fueled by their lust for power, the cultists erected a great temple in an effort to harness this intense energy, and so rose the Nexus Infernum. In Nexus Infernum, each player assumes the role of a power-hungry necromancer seeking to rise in infamy as the most blasphemous in the realm. Through command of their skeletal minions gathered within the Nexus, players will battle against one another in a struggle to control 6 portals and channel the energy that manifests within them. As players channel the 4 different strains of chaos energy from the portals, they will enhance their powers through invoking and forging infernal pacts with demons gathered beyond the breach. Each demonic pact moves a player towards victory through accumulation of points of blasphemy. The first necromancer to acquire 13 points of blasphemy will stand triumphant as the master of the Nexus Infernum. Within the Nexus Infernum stand 6 ancient portals which manifest 4 different strains of chaos energy. Portals will accumulate energy randomly through the rolling of dice. At the beginning of the game, 2 4-sided energy dice are rolled for each portal to determine which energy shall manifest. 2 tokens of energy will be added to the corresponding portal for each color rolled on the energy dice. On a player's turn, more energy will continue to accumulate through the portals. Before performing any actions, a player will roll the 6-sided portal dice and 2 4-sided energy dice. The energy dice will determine which energies are generated, and the portal dice will determine at which portal this energy will manifest. Once this is determined, 2 of each chaos energy token will be placed at this portal. With the new chaos energy manifested within the Nexus, players will muster their necromantic powers and continue to perform 4 actions on their turn in an effort to control their minions at the portals within the Nexus: summoning, command, aggression, and channeling. In order to gain access to the portals of the Nexus, necromancers will summon skeleton minions to do their bidding. Throughout the course of play, each necromancer will be able to summon and control up to 6 skeletal minions. Players will attempt to summon skeletal minions by rolling the portal dice and a 6-sided dice in an effort to beat a summoning difficulty score. If successful, they will place the skeleton at a portal within the Nexus as indicated by the portal dice. With each skeleton that a player summons, the difficulty score will increase on subsequent turns. As the difficulty increases, players will be able to use the green chaos energy to increase their odds of a successful summoning roll. For each skeleton they have present at the Nexus, a player may spend a point of green energy to roll an additional 6-sided dice when making their summoning roll. From the resulting dice rolls, the player will be able to keep the highest as their summoning roll for the turn. A player may command a single of their skeletal minions to move as they see fit between any 2 portals in the Nexus. Through command of their minions, players will be able to set themselves up to aggress other players' skeletons or to channel different assortments of energies present at other portals. If a player wishes to command more than a single skeleton on their turn, they may spend 1 point of blue chaos energy for each additional skeleton beyond the first that they wish to move. The presence of other Necromancer skeletons within the Nexus can interfere with the channeling of energy and pose a threat to a Necromancer skeletons gathered at the portals. Through aggressing other skeletons present at the portals, a Necromancer can clear their path through the Nexus. If a player's skeleton is present at a portal with another player's skeleton, they may choose to aggress the skeletons present. The player who is the aggressor will proceed to roll a 6-sided dice for each of their skeletons at the portal, and the defender will follow by rolling a 4-sided dice for each of their own. Both players will choose their highest dice roll from the results. If the highest roll for either player is a 4 or greater, players will each proceed to remove one of the opposing skeletons from the portal. If the aggressing player launches a successful strike against a defending skeleton without a successful defense, they'll proceed to take a point of blasphemy from the defeated defender. If a player has a presence at more than a single portal, they may use a single point of black energy for each portal at which they have a skeleton present to initiate further acts of aggression. The glow of the chaos energy within the portals of the Nexus Infernum is irresistible to the necromancers that gather here. Through commanding their skeletal minions between portals, a necromancer will be granted access to the different strains of chaos energy that manifest. A player will always be able to channel energy from a single portal at which they have a skeleton present on their turn. To channel the energy that has manifested, the player will choose a portal at which they have a presence, then roll a 4-sided dice for each skeleton present. The player will then be able to choose the highest score and take the resulting score's worth of energy in any combination from the portal. If a player has a presence at more than a single portal on their turn, they may pay 1 point of red energy for each portal at which they have a skeleton present to continue to channel from the additional portals in the same manner. Purple Chaos Energy is the most raw form of the Chaos Energies. Though it will not manifest at the portals, players may transmutate 3 of any other single Chaos Energy for 1 Purple Energy at any point on their turn. This chaotic Purple Energy can then be used as any other energy. Gathered on the opposite side of the breach at the Nexus Infernum, the depraved heretic legions of the Dark One await their invocation. Through these invocations and subsequent infernal pacts, the necromancers rise in blasphemy as masters of the Nexus. The Chaos Energy is the life force on which the demons gathered at the Nexus subsist. By offering Chaos Energy corresponding to the cost of a demon present at the breach, a player can invoke a single demon per turn to serve by their side. Each demon gathered at the Nexus Infernum is affiliated to a single strain of Chaos Energy and will offer infernal pacts for invoking them through the breach. These unholy pacts will empower the Necromancer based on the affiliation of the demon and enhance the Necromancer's control over the Nexus. For each pact forged, a Necromancer slips further down the path of blasphemy, gaining infamy for their power and dark deeds. Once a player has invoked a pair of demons corresponding to the same tier and color affiliation, they will form an infernal pact with the demons. At this point, the player will reveal the corresponding pact and receive the appropriate points of blasphemy for the pact forged. The demons with which the pact was forged will then be discarded from the player's play area. At the head of the Heretic Legion stand the most nefarious of the Dark One's minions. These demonic patrons can be invoked by the Necromancers to act as blasphemous advisors as they delve into the Nexus. A demonic patron will grant a static ability bonus to the player which they serve and bolster their blasphemy as long as they sit beside them. Though a player may only have a single patron in place at a time, they may choose to replace their current patron as gameplay progresses. Once a Necromancer has achieved 13 points of blasphemy, they have claimed their status as the Shepherd of the Breach. Their necromantic might has surpassed that of their adversaries, and they rise as master of the Nexus Infernum. The lesser necromancers are torn asunder by the black flames of the void as the abominations from the breach feast upon their mortal essence.